And to discuss this with me on set, I have the president of Truth Be Told Network. It is a civil society organization in the person of Bola Bakari. You're welcome, sir.
I'm glad to be here. Based on the fact that as at this morning, an agency of government has been taken to the ICPC by its commissioners. And that agency is the Federal Character Commission. We should dwell on ways of making them perform to the optimum. That is why. And
that is why we're assessing their performance.
Yes. That is why we should talk about the Federal Character Commission, because we need to address what is happening. We have a lot of problems on our hands, a lot of governance problems that the government is taking care of. How come another agency is adding more to the problem of the federal government in carrying out its duty of governance? Let us go into that a little bit, and then we revert back to the status quo. You see, I would like to educate Nigerians about the mandate, the core values of that commission, Federal Character Commission. You see, as the name goes, that commission is supposed to, it was by an act of government that says, okay, you are supposed to create a sense of equity in Nigeria when it comes to job opportunities and recruitment, everything. When I say everything, most Nigerians don't even get to hear about it.
Exactly.
And that is one very, 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 very important.
The only time most Nigerians get to hear about the federal character is when there's a massive employment and hearing that it has
changed some
exactly.
And that is the duty of Federal Character Commission, to maintain equity and fair play. That got us bothered. That how on earth were the commissioners that are supposed to sit down with their chairman or chairperson to foment proper equity go to ICPC? We went into that, and we did a research on that why is this happening? And honestly, we were able to gather, because there is freedom of information bill in Nigeria. You can go anywhere and ask questions if you ask diligently, though. If you know
how to ask,
you know how to ask. If you are too competent, you won't get anything. One line of information. But from what we could gather, we were able to decipher that the operations of this agency, vis-a-vis its composition of a chairperson and 37 representatives from the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCC. And what is their job demand? The job demand is these 37 people are supposed to work in consonance with a chairperson to deliver the goods to Nigeria. But why are they at ICPC? Let me tell you what we gathered. We've been able to gather that committees that are supposed to take care of standing committees. You see, what they do is standing committees are attached to different MDAs.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, there are no standing committees. In other words, job is not being done. Again, there are situations where files are compiled for each and every MDA, and these files are supposed to be given to the standing committees to look at, so that they can develop on it and then carry out their oversight functions. I'll tell you this, you wouldn't believe it. This administration at Federal Character Commission is barely 7 months old, and they are beginning to have this kind of problem, which shows that there is no good job going on there. And that is one thing we should always address, because I normally say one thing: before we throw an accusing finger at the presidency, we need to ask ourselves, what are those agencies doing? For God's sake, the presidency cannot do everything. That is the essence of MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. And that is the work of everybody, every Nigerian, both there in the media space, to make sure that as Nigerians, we ask the right questions, and then we're able to forge ahead. There is a problem in Federal Character Commission. As we go on, I'll be using the appellate FCC. That is what they are called, Federal Character Commission, FCC. They are now at ICPC. A lot of issues have been raised by the commissioners. They've been sidelined, which is not according to the act that brought them to power. They've been sidelined. They don't even know what is happening. There are a lot of incongruities, both financial and otherwise. For God's sake, if the presidency says, you, my sister, you're the chairperson of this organization, and the presidency in its wisdom tells you, I am going to give you 37 people to form a plenary and work with you. What is the presidency telling you? To tap ideas from 37 people and bring me the best of ideas.
And these 37 people come from different states.
In different states. They are representatives of the people.
And they have first-hand information on what their people want.
What their people want. To break it down for my everyday people watching me out there. Take for instance, lately there was a situation at the CBN where there was some kind of employment and things like that. I'm not trying to dwell on that. I'm trying to use that as a baseline example. Let's say there is room for employment of 150 people. It is these 37 people that will sit down and say, okay, how do we apportion in the name of equity and fair play? How do we apportion this employment that it goes around Nigeria? There are instances where some states, maybe prior, might have had more chances than some other states. In this instance, they make do for that by making restitution and creating a balance. But how do you create a balance when you do not have access to your files? You do not have access to the MDAs. You do not have access to a plenary where you discuss what is happening. My dear sister, there is a problem on ground. When you see, my grouse is these 37 people are proper representatives of Nigeria, and they should be the ones that determine what is going to happen to us, not one singular person sitting there. I was even able to gather one info that there are some MDAs. I don't want to call them, use a bad adjective. I rather call them revenue generating MDAs. They become very, very important, because at times they can go on their own without funds from the federal government. At times they even pay the federal government. So what happens in this instance is there is accusation that the chairperson has cornered those revenue generating MDAs, claiming that it is the presidency that gave the go-ahead
to do that.
All right, sir. That is a bad indictment.
All right, sir. Yes, the federal, and I will also know that the Federal Character Commission has also had people have also speculated that nothing is working well in the Federal Character Commission,
yes.
And there have been accusation also as regards to employment that most times the employments are lopsided.
Very.
They are not equitable as they should.
Right now we have a situation that has gone to ICPC. Let us make an issue out of that. Let us correct some of the anomalies. You know, one thing we do not like propagating bad news. We like looking for solutions of taking care of that bad news. Now that we've been able to identify the bad news, for God's sake, let us look at solutions to it so that we can share ideas together. You never know where ideas are going to be propagated. So this case of Federal Character Commission, I am very, 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 very vehement about it. Little wonder your sister, your cousin will sit at home and say, Auntie, why don't you talk to people in Abuja and get me a job? Unfortunately, you are trying to do the job of a commissioner in Federal Character Commission. So it's high time we tell Nigerians that whenever an opportunity opens for employment anywhere in governance, look for your commissioner that is representing you at the Federal Character Commission and tell him, look, there is this opportunity. It's not total that if there are 10 opportunities it will get to you because there are maybe 1,000 of you, but let you have a standing chance of being able to be employed. Part of the accusations of the commissioners to their chairperson that naturally, like you said, There are instances, opportunities occur, and then you now corner a higher percentage to your person and to your clan. The federal government saw through that. That is why it said 37 people should sit. I repeat it again. 37 people are supposed to sit. But if you have an erring chairperson that does not allow you to sit, how will you be able to divide that opportunity equitably? And that is the grounds of these commissioners that they have taken to ICPC. She has cornered situations on ground and they are not for it. I'll tell you one thing about Nigerians. We are nice people. They must have been able to call out to order in-house, and when they didn't get the desired effect, they went public. Just like the case we had before when Sanusi said his own bit to government didn't listen to him, he went public. The commissioners have said their bit in-house. When the chairperson didn't listen, they went public, and that is why we are dwelling on that today. And there is one other thing I would like to say, because ICPC is now involved. I want to ask the professor one simple question: that if a petition is submitted to you, do you invite the defendant informally prior to compiling, making sure that information the petition brings up is being confirmed? That was part of what we learned. But I hope the professor is good to go. He will take care of that accordingly. We have 37 positions up for grabs, and one person sits on 20. It's national selfish reason.
Okay.
Boil it down to now we have 40 positions on hand. One has been given to the 36 states plus FCT. Then we are left with maybe 3. In that case, somebody somewhere might commandeer that 3. But not that singular one that goes to the states. It will have gone to the states first before what you said comes in. The element of lobbying, knowing somebody or not knowing somebody. But I have made it public to you Nigerians these days. If you really want it, I will put all their names in the social media for you to see. That okay, I am from this state, this is my commissioner from this state. I will even give you his or her phone number.